Welcome! Can I beat Satisfactory without creating a single item by hand? This was the quagmire I got myself into a few weeks ago when I was arguing with one of my friends about the possibility of this topic, and after exactly 37 minutes of vocal warfare we arrived at the moment in time when the forbidden words have been spoken. If you are so sure, do it yourself. Do it yourself. These were the exact syllables whom triggered my ego. If he wants proof of concept, we shall not back down. All I have to do to prove my friends wrong is to finish the game by completing the space elevator without creating a single item by hand. This means no iron plates, no portable miners, and worst of all, no masturbation. So can we beat Satisfactory with these limitations, or will I die in the singularity that will form under the collapse of my gigantic ego? Well, there's only one way to find out. Here we are in the main menu with the age-old question in front of us: where should we start? Answer: somewhere else where we would actually start, because no matter how much thought I put into the starting area, I always get it wrong. So let's run a quick checklist. Iron, copper, limestone and coal deposits should be nearby. Okay, check, we can cross off the desert. Let's see, a lot of accessible crash sites should be nice. Well, this leaves the northern forest and the plains. I have already did a playthrough from the plains, so the northern forest it is. After giving the save file a suitable name, we are forced to listen to an HR training tape, and this caused my otherwise calm mind to instantly enter panic mode because it made around a dozen workplace PTSD memories resurface. But after finally landing, I have escaped the landing pod with the cognitive functions of a poisoned rat still battling my twisted mind. But the noisy clouds quickly lifted once my frontal cortex realized we have just entered Satisfactory, and immediately replaced every agonizing thought, pleasant memory or cringe high school activity in my brain with the hyper-optimal building plans for heavy modular frames. After this resetting of vision, my first order of business was to collect around 20 cubic meters of foliage, then scan for iron ore. Because from now on, the planet's ecosystem is at the mercy of our fingers, and we will make it crumble. So I started making my way over to the iron deposits my PDA just scanned, but got sidetracked into checking out a crashed ship with valuable iron plates, rods and rotors scattered around it. Unbeknownst to me yet, these crash sites will be the lifesavers for this challenge, but more about them later. So after collecting the hard drive from the crash site, we make our way over to the iron veins, where I do a little bit of pest control before I go mayhem on the nodes. And just like our little guy is beating his chisel into this mineral on the rhythm of we will rock you, maybe you should beat your mouse cursor with the same rhythm into my subscribe button. Trust me, it will look great on your resume. Okay, self-promo over, hub is down, and first and second upgrade is complete. But now we face the first obstacle of this video: copper wire. Wire. We need constructors to craft it, and this upgrade would be the one that unlocks constructors for us. So if we can get our hands on copper wire, we can basically craft any item with a machine instead of our own hands, making the challenge 10 times easier. Only problem, this is easier said than done, because the next crash site I have visited only had copper and iron platings and not wire. I mean, we just probably got unlucky. Let's go to another one and get it from there. Third crash site, no luck. Fourth, the same deal. Fifth and sixth, all copper wireless. With each crash site, my optimism quickly started to turn into dread and agony. I have ventured quite a bit away from the hub in search of some copper wire, but we were still no closer to finding some than we were 25 minutes ago when I've started. But I couldn't do anything else other than hope that the next site will have it, so I continued my expedition. And not long after this, I laid my eyes upon another crash site. And as I was getting closer, I saw something that resembled the shape of copper wire. Could this be it? Did we finally found it after 33 minutes of agonizing searching later? No, of course not. It was fucking quick wire. So onward I went, through the rocky desert, over the western beaches and into the grasslands. And with each crash site, the pain was building. Another 5 minutes of running around. No wire. The pain was building. Another crash site, no wire, only cable. The pain was now reaching critical levels, but I still had one more crash site in me. Surely this will be the one. I looked around, no wire inside. The thought of giving up was now tantalizing, but then I spotted it with the corner of my eyes. Wire. Oh yes, finally. Now all I had to do was put down a hub and unlock the third upgrade. You can only build one. What the fuck? Oh, you son of a bitch, that every atom in your body should become positively charged, like I will metamorphose every bit of your spinal cord into mint toothpaste. After making peace with the fact that I had to walk across the map one more time, as much as someone would make peace with getting rejected from art school, I have collected what little sanity I had left and started my journey back across the map. But while I was getting assistance by giant rhinos to reach my destination faster, my mind slowly started drifting into the abyss of forbidden thoughts and ideas. So if we go to exactly 56.5 degrees on planet Earth and take a leap of faith from 400 meters above sea level, then plummet into the ground with a downwards velocity of 7.86 meters a second, your body will enter the immortal stage of rebirth and you will be teleported to somewhere else randomly on Earth into a new body. It's almost like an infinite body glitch, and your old body even stays there so you can harvest the organs from it for infinite money. Yeah bro, sure. When is it time to take your meds again? About 3 hours ago. Okay, insanity-inducing thoughts over. We are finally back at the hub, and it only took us 56 minutes to gather a string of copper wire. I want to end it now. But hey, look at the bright side, we can finally craft every item we will ever need, so the challenge should be a walk in the park. After unlocking hub upgrades 3, 4 and 5, we got stuck on 6 because we needed more copper wire, but now that's an entry level task. We just need a copper vein. But before I got to building a copper wire production line, I dripped out my character with the I am a 5-year-old preschooler color palette. Now every time I slide around the map, you get vomit-inducing tendencies.
Oh, wait.
Perfection. With my drip established, I demolished the hub and started my migration towards a new build spot. On the way there, I got assaulted by giant rhinos, had some beef with gravity and collected endgame items from crash sites. Turbo motor, nice. And after all this adventuring, we arrive at the western dune forest. Here we establish our base of operations with a smelter, constructor and the hub, then start mining copper ore by hand and realize it's the worst type of node. After I agonizingly mined and crafted 100 copper wire, we finally complete hub upgrade 6 and the real game could begin. Next objective, 50 smart platings and the materials for the space elevator, which needs 1500 copper wire, so we had our work cut out for us. So I started with taking down everything and made my way into the nearby pit, where I rebuilt the hub and the smelter constructor line and started chipping away slowly but surely at the nearby iron and copper deposits. Put the ores inside the smelters and started the extraction of limestone for concrete. This went on for about an hour, just looking at the ground, extracting resources and transferring them into the constructors. Although I made it a bit more bearable by building a couple of conveyor belts and getting myself an auto clicker in the form of a Rubik's Cube. And to be honest, I could have beaten the game like this, but it wouldn't make for an entertaining YouTube video and would literally take months. So let's find some alternative solutions. Our main problem at the moment is ore extraction. You can only get portable miners by crafting them with your bare hands in an equipment workshop, and for obvious reasons we can't and will not do that. So let's search for another way of obtaining one. After some investigation, I have found out that you can unlock an alternative recipe for these miners by scanning the hard drives you collect from crash sites. The only problem we have now is that you have to unlock basic steel production in tier 3 for the recipe to appear, and this will require us to collect 1000 concrete, 2500 copper wire, 250 iron plates, 400 iron rods, 250 rotors, 100 reinforced iron plates and 50 modular frames. This means we still have to mine about 9300 ores by hand, and if we assume that I can mine 3 ores every second, we would only have to hit the ground for about 1 hour straight, but considering downtime and transferring materials, it would probably take around 2–2.5 hours, and I was not ready mentally to do this for 2.5 hours, so I started looking for an alternative solution again. While my mind was hard at work figuring out a better way to obtain resources, I filled up my containers with a little bit of ore for processing and then went on another expedition run, searching for hard drives and valuable debris around crash sites. Hence, once we have tier 3 unlocked, we shouldn't have to worry about this and just spam researches in hopes of finding the one recipe we are looking for. While I ran around the map for about 40 minutes, I got assaulted by giant spiderlings, got hit into highly toxic gases by rhinos, and got my hands on exactly 0 hard drives. Because most of the drop pods needs a specific item or a stable flow of electricity in order to be able to be opened. So that's the reason we did not collect any hard drives. But it was not all for nothing. The expedition yielded a ton of valuable items and materials. Yeah, the main course was kinda missing. But what can a man do in a situation like this? Expect go and mine some copper and iron ore, then use aforementioned ore to make more plates and wire. And after another uneventful 30 minutes, we were ready to unlock part assembly and start progress on making smart platings. But this was the end of day 1 and it took about 3.5 hours to get this far. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown by the end of this challenge. I have to find something out if I want to finish it this year. I got it! I kid you not, I woke up in the middle of the night from a nightmare where I was playing Satisfactory and running away from a giant spider-like creature. I have arachnophobia for context. And do you know what I used as an escape vehicle? The little cart from the Awesome Shop. And that's when it hit me. I can buy materials from the Awesome Shop for tickets, and you get tickets for sending excess resources into the resource sink. So I can basically turn my unwanted items like the turbo motors and rubber into copper wire and reinforced iron plates, speeding up my grinding process 100 times. All I had to do was unlock the resourcing program, which was still expensive but way more reasonable than anything else I mentioned before. So I set out to collect the missing materials from crash sites while also being on the lookout for hard drives and valuable sinkable items. After 30 minutes of running around, we finally have every bit of concrete, copper wire and iron plating we need to unlock the awesome sink. So I immediately build one right after unlocking it and start sending in our excess resources in exchange for coupons. While that happens, I put together another assembler tasked with making smart platings for the first milestone of the space lift. For this we will need 50 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors, but luckily we already have those from our collection run beforehand. So next order of business is to mine a bit more copper and iron ore for the awesome shop, because we need that building to be able to spend our coupons. Once we had an object to throw our disposable income at, I started spending my coupons and acquiring items for the space elevator while our machines crafted the smart platings. This procedure usually takes around 50 minutes, so to kill time I went on another expedition run. On this heavenly walk I finally collected a couple of hard drives, valuable Mercer spheres and walked into heaven. Oh goddammit. Once I returned home, the smart platings finished crafting and we were ready to advance in our production stage. I built the space lift and supplied it with all the materials it needed. Then I unlocked the main program because we will use that machine to unlock our alternative recipes via scanning hard drives. And each hard drive scan takes 10 minutes with only yielding 2 possible alternative recipes for choice. This means it could take a literal hours to find the right one, so it's better to start early. While the first hard drive started ticking away inside the map, I went back to the hub and unlocked basic steel production, because if you don't have this unlocked, you can't get the alternative recipe we are going for. But once this step was done, it was only a matter of time. So I started wandering around the map looking for more hard drives, and once every 10 minutes I would slap down a new map, collect my research and start a new one. Okay, stop the music, I kid you not, after only 4 hard drive scans, reminder that still took 40 minutes, I got what I was looking for. Oh, let's go! After finally getting the receipt for the portable miner, we were in business. I slapped down an assembler and started making miners by the dozen. And it was time to fully automate our production lines. First of all, I started with the copper and iron nodes we were using until now. With only 2 tier 1 miners, we had copper wire, cable, iron plates and iron rods fully automated. But you know the saying, you solve one problem, it creates 2 others. Now we did not have enough electricity in our power grid to support the system. So I started mining coal and extracting water in order to build a coal power plant. And once this was done, we were basically playing default Satisfactory. So here is what we are going to do. In order to prove that you can do it and play Satisfactory without crafting a single item by hand, we will finish phase 2 of the space elevator. Because once you pass that point in the game, you are in most cases incentivized to not craft anything by hand. Okay, deal? Deal. I quickly unlocked conveyor splitter and other building blocks after this and started construction on the necessary factory blocks we needed. Once I finished with the basic materials that most people would have automated 10 minutes into their first save file, it took 6.5 hours for me, I moved on to create the first real factory complex, a fully automatic and separated reinforced iron plate production line. And done. Hey, you know the whole point of Satisfactory is to build a nice looking factory, right? Yeah. Then what the fuck is this? Look, I have limited resources. Just trust the process. Once I have more, I will make it look pretty. Yeah, for sure. After my aesthetic choices were critically doubted, I went on to create an automated smart plating production line and a fully functional steel production line, which I tried to make look good and organized, but the lack of resources still prevented me in doing so. But I reassured my friend that it will be done, it will look pretty, and it will blow his mind once he sees it. It will take around 5.5 hours for the machines to craft all the required parts, so I will have plenty of time to make it look good. It took 5 hours real time. We finally had the materials to complete the space elevator and rub it in my friend's face that Satisfactory can be completed without crafting a single item by hand. The deed was done, but this was only half a victory. I also had to show him that I indeed made the factory pleasant to look at by the human eye, aka organized. So I got him into a call and showed him what I've built. And this is the part where I make all the steel product. Yeah, it looks pretty organized, but how do you make all these items in such a small place? Oh, you don't have to worry about it. Really, you shouldn't. I will assure you, there is no shady business going on. I'm still streaming, right? Well, there you have it, Satisfactory completed without crafting a single item by hand. I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, you can drop a sub and you might like the video where I got every achievement. Okay, have a good one everyone. Bye.